morning. It's a brand new day. I'm sleepy. I'm up early trying to beat any rain that might come, although it does look like the sun's trying to peek through. It's not supposed to rain today, but if there's anything I've learned these past few weeks, it's don't trust a Portuguese weather report. So I'm up, and today I'm going to be working on something that's called a sawbuck. The sawbuck is the one that has the Xy bits, and then you can place roundwood. Oftentimes it's firewood that goes in there to cut it safely. That's what I want it for. I want it to chop my firewood, so I've got a design that hopefully fits well with the size of firewood I have. I watched a YouTube video, which I'll put the link down in the show notes, that gave me some good guidance and some direction for moving forward on this. I started yesterday stripping a few poles. I've had this sweet chestnut laying around my house for ages. It's just always in the way. I've moved it here, I've moved it there, but the beautiful thing about sweet chestnut is that it's super durable. So even though it's been out in the elements some of the time, it stood up really well, and now I'm just kind of stripping off the outer layer of the scuzz that's kind of built up on the poles, and I'm also taking the bark off of some of the ones that I haven't already debarked. So the wood still looks good. It's amazing. It's been sitting around for like 2 years, often, yeah, just out in the rain, and I've treated it badly. I've treated it very, very badly, but it's coming back to life. Debarking roundwood poles is one of my favorite tasks. So I'm going to do some more of that this morning, and I'm looking very forward to it. I know that's a bit strange, but what can I say? So under here I've got some poles that have been stripped, and I've got some more poles to do. I've done a little drawing. I'm going to be working from a very, very rough plan. I'll cut the pieces to size, and then I'll attempt to put it into something that will hold firewood. So I only partially know what I'm doing. I've never done this before, but I've worked with sweet chestnut quite a bit. It's a beautiful wood to work with. However, when it gets older, it gets really, really hard. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to chisel into it or what I'll be doing here. So that'll be interesting to see. Anyway, let's uncover these poles and get to work on a sawbuck. So you get the idea. I'm stripping some logs. I'm going to do a couple more and then cut them to size and check back in when I have all of my pieces ready to go. An amazing thing about this job is the waste product that comes from it. You get all these little wood shavings, which are amazing for starting fires. They'll probably be a little bit too wet now to work, but it'll only take maybe a day or maybe not even a full day to dry out, and I can use them for starting my fires because I haven't gone pine cone hunting lately, so I'll actually need those, and I'm going to have loads by the end of today. So that's a little bonus for staying warm. All right, me and my draw knife, we're going to get back to it. It's about 4:30, the sun's going down, and though I didn't get started on the actual construction of my sawbuck, I did prepare all the wood, so that's a win. I got a little carried away with the old bark removal. It's very enjoyable. Just kind of got into the zone and went for it, but I have loads of logs prepared now. It's been a really enjoyable day doing the same repetitive task over and over again. I do love that for some weird reason. But the draw knifing is kind of hard on the old shoulders and the arms. So I feel good. I feel like I've actually done some physical work for once, which is a win. Hopefully I sleep well tonight, and I'll be back at it tomorrow morning for some piece preparation and hopefully some assembly as well. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning from my sketch pad. I've decided that I'm not going to make a giant sawbuck. I don't know that I need it, at least not right now. I'm going to make a little mini baby one because I don't have a lot of space out there, and really all I need it for is cutting firewood. So I'm going to start with a mini version, and if I feel like I need a longer, bigger one, I'll make it when the time comes. Let's see what it's like outside this morning. My solar's only bringing in about 20 watts, so I expect... Yep, I'm still in a cloud. Oh, when will the sun shine? It's supposed to be cloudy all day today, a little bit rainy, and then quite rainy tomorrow, so doom and gloom. Well, gloom, not so much doom. All right, I'm gonna uncover this. Oh man, it just started raining. It's very light, and I'm hoping this little shelter will do its job. It's not so great when there's a torrential downpour, but a light rain, maybe it's okay. So I would love to open this up and choose the pieces that I'm going to use for my mini sawbuck. Yeah, it's not the best day to be outside, I don't think, but I would really love to move forward with this. Well, I just went inside to get the stuff I'll need, and it's raining harder now. Dripping exactly where I'd like to work. So I think I'll just take this as a sign and head back indoors. I can't really even work on the computer or just watch movies because of my power situation. So I'm really trying to conserve because tomorrow's going to be even worse than today. But I'll find something to do in here, and I'm fortunate that I'm able to just change my plans up on the fly like this. I don't have kind of a deadline to work to or anything like that. So yeah, I just have to go with the flow. And when the sun shines again, I'll be back out there making my little mini sawbuck. Instead, I get to hang out with this little dude. You have the right idea, my friend. It's a new day, and look at this glorious sunshine. It's just wonderful. I went a little bit bonkers on the stripping of the bark, and I have a massive number of poles to choose from. So I'm gonna have a look to see which pieces are the best, which ones are the right thicknesses, pull them out, and get started on the mini sawbuck. Yesterday while I was walking around my land, I managed to step in every single puddle possible with my steel-toed shoes on. So I'm trying to let them dry out a little bit. I'll get them out later on when I start to chainsaw the firewood. But for now, I'm hoping I can get the job done with hand tools. These saws are really, really great. It's a pruning saw meant for trees, for green wood, but they're excellent if you get a sharp one, and this one is a sharp one, and I'm hoping that the sweet chestnut isn't too hard for it. I have a design in mind, but I'm not really sure of the size of it, of the height. So I'm gonna test out holding the chainsaw with a piece of wood and see if I can get the height of this thing, the optimal height, and then from there I'll be able to measure out the length of the wood I need. But first, shoes and some. So yeah, I don't know, I think this height feels okay. So I've got these two pieces here, and then the idea is that I want them to cross over sort of a roundabout, so the place where the wood sits is kind of around there. And then I want a certain size of the splay of the feet for support. That's probably a bit too long, too wide. And then I want a bit of the wood sticking above to hold the wood itself. So I'd probably want to mark it around there. And then this gives me the length of the piece of wood that I need. Okay, that's good news. The wood isn't super hard, so I'll be able to do this with my chisel and my handsaw. I'm gonna continue making the pieces, and I'm gonna check back in when I have all four ready to go, and I'll figure out what the next step is at that stage. Okay, I've got two pieces cut. One's a thick, chunky one, one's a thinner one. I don't know why. Why not? So now I'm gonna try to form them into an X and see where I need to chisel out the space. I am truly not sure what the best way to do this is. I don't know if the big one should go on the outside or the inside. These might even be too chunky for what I want, but it's what I've got, so let's see what happens. Okay, here's my plan. Again, very rough. So I want the wood to be sitting sort of at this height of the chair, even a little bit lower. And I want a certain distance between the feet for stability. So what is my plan here? Keeping in mind that I'm going to cut the feet flat, so I'll lose a few centimeters in the height. So maybe I'll do it to the height of the chair. You know, I really just have no idea. So I'm going to just kind of draw a random line. Start there, draw a line over here. So this is a fairly unorthodox way to do things. I could definitely be a lot more precise, but I'm kind of working on a lawn chair. I've really cluttered up the space back here, and it's not ideal. I think I might actually get rid of this flue and work on this table, so I can at least lay things out at a height that's not ridiculous. So I'll do that and then see what to do from there. Cutting and chiseling is my next step. It's just, where do I make the actual cuts is the question. This weather is crazy beautiful after being in a cloud for about a month. My shoes are enjoying basking in the sunshine, and I'm enjoying it as well. I had to change, it was too hot out. And let me just show you what I've done. I didn't want to film what I was doing before because I wanted some proof of concept before I actually started spending time filming it. So I'm happy with what I've got. Let me show you, and then we'll work on X number 2, and I'll film that one for you. And basically what I've done is just sort of marked and chiseled. You can see that these two logs sort of go into each other. So within there is a flat surface, and then they just kind of squeeze together. I'm going to screw these together. I would like to bolt them, but I don't have the bolts. So the height seems really good. If I wanted to, once this is a bit shorter, I could put my leg up and hold it in place like that. I don't know if it's incredibly unsafe or what, but it all seems like a good height. I'm happy with how things are going. It's super sturdy. Once I get the second X assembled, I'll need to think about which way they go, which way it's assembled together, because there's going to be some natural way that I'll want to cut things. And you have to keep in mind that this side of the chainsaw is quite bulky, and depending on how I'm cutting, I'll probably have to come at it from this side. So I can't really explain what I'm talking about, but once I get the second X assembled, it should make more sense. So this glorious shining sun also means I have one lone battery that's charged up. So I'm going to use that to put some screws in. The joys of having one battery. Come on. Alright, it looks like this is very, very solid, so I'm happy with that. Next step is going to be to make X number 2, then chop off the tops, level out the bottoms, and then I make braces that way. I probably have more to do today than I thought, so I'm not actually sure if I'll get this done, but I can only try. I've just finished a quick but late lunch. The day's marching on. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, I think, or maybe even closer to 3. And I'm just trying to get at least the big X done because it's going to rain tomorrow. And if I have to move this operation inside, I'd rather have all the big bits done and just have to do fastening. So let me show you where I'm at, and let's carry on with X number 2. So X number 1 is looking really good, and I've basically just sort of laid out these two pieces and attempted to make some marks. Alright, so I'm going to use my chisel to get rid of this bit in here, create a flat surface. Normally you'd probably be working to a line on either side. I'm just eyeballing this whole operation. I'm working very willy-nilly. I haven't measured anything so far. This could be very interesting. But the saw thinks it'll be okay. Okay, so I have a little bit more work to do to get this a bit flatter. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side of the X, but for now I'm gonna go put my camera on charge and just try to power through the work because the day is dragging on and I really want to get this done. So I'll check in hopefully quite soon with the 2 X's and we can fasten everything together. Behold, I have created 2 X's. Right now they're sort of just balancing on that brick and on that log, but for the most part I'm happy with it. My initial idea was to sort of have it so that I'd be chopping the wood off at the side, but if I did that then these would be super close together and that just seems like it'd be weird. But then chopping it in the middle wouldn't give it much space. So I'm going to try to explain what I was talking about before. I can't really cut on this side because this part of the chainsaw gets in the way. So I want to be coming at it from this side. Or from this side. So because of the length of the firewood I want to cut, these will have to be fairly close together. Get back up. But the way this is now, there's no space really for the chainsaw to go in the middle should I want to chop wood in half. In order to make that space, I'll have to flip this one around the other way, and then that'll give me a bit more space. So I'm going to try that now and see what that looks like and feels like. Uh-oh. Oh no, flipping it around flipping it around results in the same thing. So I'll actually have to tip it up. I think I did a silly thing. I thought I could rearrange these things after it was all attached. This is an example of a fairly large screw up. Luckily, I think I can get away with it, but there's a lesson in there somewhere, I think. For a project like this, it's quite easy just to go gung-ho, charge ahead, and I just want to get it done without too much thought, but sometimes thought is required, and this is an example of that. So, how do I do this? I want this on the outside on this side. Is it even possible? Is it even possible? To go upside down. Same problem. This is some kind of crazy mental acrobatics that I don't think I'm capable of. Surely, this guy on the outside. The outside? Like that. Okay. Oh no! Damn it! Then it's going to be like a crazy super wide X. So. Oh man. Alright, this is annoying. I don't know what to do here. I just don't know what to do. So if this weren't so frustrating, it would be hilarious. But in order to accomplish having this one on the outside to give me more space in between, I have to turn it this way, which obviously doesn't match up with that and is ridiculous. This has been an epic fail. Now I have one stubby X and one tall X, and that's not going to work for me. So, yeah. Screw-ups in progress, everybody. So it's not going to be the sawbuck of my dreams, but it will be a functional thing that I can cut firewood on, and that's good enough for me. And anytime I make something like this in the future, I have that lesson in mind, and I know what I need to consider. So I'm really happy I didn't make the giant one, because that would have been a lot more time and effort, and I probably would have, or possibly would have done the exact same thing. So I've made my mini sawbuck. I've made an error. It's not the end of the world. It's still functional. And so the next step is finding some smaller pieces for the horizontals to attach everything together. So I'm going to dig through my pile of stripped wood behind me, find some nice pieces, and hopefully I can get this whole thing bashed together and be done with it. I'm sick of looking at the thing, and I just want to finish this project and move on to the next thing. So the X's are on their sides, and I've got a piece of wood here. I've cut a flat surface out of it, and that's going to go kind of in there. And now I've lined it up with the other X to try to just roughly get the next spot for this little lip thing that I've chiseled out. So normally with roundwood timber framing, I would put this on a level plane, and I would then run a line or a string line or something across so that I make sure that these two flat surfaces are perfectly lined up with each other. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to eyeball it and hope everything doesn't go completely sideways. But there's definitely a chance of that because this is not really how you're supposed to do things. Anyway, as always, I'm hoping for the best. So in theory, obviously these aren't parallel to one another. It all needs to be rearranged, but in theory, this sits in there, it bolts down, and it holds this thing in place. I'll put another one on the other side, and probably a third one somewhere, maybe on the inside. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I feel like I've been working on this for approximately 10,000 years, and I'm ready to call it quits. I have my two bracing pieces here, and I've got my sexy X's ready to all be assembled, and I'm gonna put my tools away, cover everything up because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and go eat a nice dinner and relax. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for hopefully the completion of this Sawbuck Sawhorse contraption. I wasn't expecting that. Good morning, everybody. It's not tomorrow morning. It's not even 2022 anymore. It's 2023, new year, new hat. And I basically was a little discouraged by my stupid mistake and didn't really want to work on this sawhorse for a while. So I'm back at it, and my plan is to disassemble one of the sides, push through the frustration, and just keep going and get this thing done. Damn it. Well, this is turning into a complete and total pain in the ass, but I will continue. I will persevere. I feel like I've gone too far now, and I just need to continue with my plan. So, onwards. And of course, I think the angles on this now aren't right for it to fit together, so I guess I'll just cut the angles to be correct. I'm just gonna keep on butchering this thing. I'm gonna keep on adjusting and kind of annihilating this X until I get it right. And now that I'm thinking of it, does it even really matter that much? It would be nice to get the chainsaw to fit in between the two things. That is kind of a key point. I'm gonna make these cuts, but I'm gonna do it off camera because I'm I'm getting frustrated and I just want to speed along with this thing and get it done. So I'm going to check in, hopefully with an X that fits with that X, and then I'll fasten everything together and finish this project once and for all. So I'm still at it, and my sexy X's that I was hoping to make are most definitely not sexy. I've sawed off the tops, and now I'm gonna attach the supports to link everything together. So I can see where this can also go terribly wrong. And again, I should probably have taken some lessons from this and try to slow down and do things right. But you know what? I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna keep on that path, and eventually this will be done to some kind of a okay standard. All the thing needs to do is hold logs, so I'm just gonna carry on as is, fingers crossed, and as always, hope for the best. Okay, I've got one screw in each side of the wood, so it's not in super tight, but it gives me some wiggle room. And I'm just gonna fasten the other two pieces, make this thing sturdy, and then come back to you. But first I'm actually gonna have lunch because I am starving. I've kind of just been powering through this morning with very few results, so I'm hungry, and I'm gonna check in when this thing's a bit more complete. Okay, I've had lunch, and this thing is it a Sawhorse? Is it a Sawbuck? Is it anything really? Whatever it is, it's closer to being complete than it was before lunch, so that's a good sign. I have one more piece to attach, and then I definitely have a lot of work to do on the wiggliness of the feet, so I'll do that by chopping off the bottoms. And then it's not as nice as I would have liked it, but it's gonna hold wood, so I can saw it. So there you go. I think it'll accomplish its mission. Let me get this piece on, and then I will test it out to see if it actually does the job. Will it hold wood while I saw? The ultimate test. I don't ask for much. I would have liked it to be not quite as janky looking. I don't know that I'm cut out for fine woodworking, furniture making, or any of that stuff, but I have kind of enjoyed it until I didn't. Now I'm just happy for it to be almost done. So let me attach this piece and then be done with this. What do you think? What do you think? No? Okay. This thing is sturdy, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna cut a piece of wood. If it doesn't, I will cry. There's obviously a lot of weirdness happening. I'm gonna clean it up off camera and show you the final result very soon. But first, let's give it a test. Let's try a bigger log. Okay, the thing I made, Sawhorse, Sawbuck, whatever it's called, holds the wood while I saw it. And it's a lot safer than just sticking it on another log and trying to hold it with my foot. That's probably not ideal. So I have a safe way to cut wood. I'm really happy with that. It's going to be a lot quicker than what I've been doing and a lot safer. And yes, I admit it's not the most beautiful thing to look at, but it is functional and I'm happy with it. So it's already taken up way too much of my time. And so with that, I'm going to say goodbye from this video. It's been a bit of a frustrating one. Hopefully it's been rather entertaining for you. And yeah, thanks for watching as always. Please do comment, make any suggestions. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that have lots of suggestions. I love hearing from people, and I'll see you in the next video.